Liberty, with you for every step on the road to financial freedom.
So after a long and tough year, a well-deserved break might be on the cards, or perhaps you're looking forward to treating yourself with some new gadgets, some clothing, and a little bit of pampering. Well, there's nothing wrong with a bit of R&R, but you have to make sure that your festive season spending does not derail your long-term financial well-being. Carlo, welcome to FinSmart. Now, what are the typical or common mistakes that people make financially during the festive season?
During the festive season, we get bombarded with marketing. The shops are calling us in to sell everything that typically we don't want. And we head for the stores and really spend what we have in the bank.
The thing about the festive season is, we all want to spoil our families, our loved ones and so forth. These are emotional decisions, aren't they?
Very much so. Impulse buying, emotional decisions, I need to spoil. But again, I think we need to get away from that stereotypical type of December and say, what is the festive season really about? The festive season is really about family. And that's where we should actually really be spending the time, not necessarily splashing out that whole salary and think that this is what I need to do. You should actually turn around and say, what do I actually need? Make a plan before you actually go through to the store, buy those needs, and like I say, not get sidelined by the idea of things that you typically would not buy on a normal day. Yeah. Maybe if I can use an example and say, during December, we find that we want to drink not the cheaper champagne, we want to drink the more expensive champagne, although we don't do that for the other 11 months of the year.
So many people get paid earlier in December, almost like 40 days before your next paycheck. How can I stretch those finances to reach that next paycheck and not have the January blues?
My best approach on the January situation is that how do we prevent January in the form of a plan and saying, well, why don't we take the expenses that we're going to incur in January? We have our 13th check for the year. And if we use that 13th check and say, let's cover all those costs in January, even if it's only a portion towards uniform, school fees. So if we can take the January expenses and say, let's cover those expenses and see what do we actually have left from that 13th check. The best approach I've also seen is that some people actually start saving during the year. They actually create a 14th check.
It's fantastic having a plan. It's another thing, sticking to the plan. How do you assist clients stick to the plans?
That is the hardest part. It definitely takes two to tango, and especially with a financial plan, it has to be a part on both sides. So I think putting a plan in place is being realistic. Create that what do I actually need, opposed to things that are extra or additional. The actual end of the year is probably one of the best times you can spend with your financial advisor, because if you put a plan in place for the new year, you start the new year off on a really good step, and your 2022 is going to be great.
So there it is. Nobody's actually saying you can't unwind and treat yourself and your family after a long year. But just make sure that you can actually afford it so that you don't start the new year indebted and under a lot of financial pressure.
It's not just your financial freedom, it's your liberty. Let's make it count. Liberty, in it with you.